Good morning, crew. We are at Raw Vlog number 12. Raw Vlogs are recorded live in front of a steering wheel on my way to getting my Friday morning coffee. It's delivered straight from the camera to you, unedited and raw. In today's Raw Vlog, we're going to be discussing Joey's, Jerry's, Kooks, and Squids, what that's all about, and what to do about it. Quick bit of channel news. If you didn't see my Instagram story already, I've got the full cast on the arm now. There's pins in there holding my lunate in place, and the pins and cast will be on my arm for another 5 weeks. The cast will come off, the pins will come out, and then I'll be starting PT should everything go well. And then probably a bunch of PT, so probably a couple more months until I'm back on the bike. I'm also working on a video about using shock whizzes to get my suspension tuned up when I had gotten my Santa Cruz Bronson. So that being said, let's get into the subject matter: Joey's, Jerry's, Kooks, and Squids. So in case you don't already know, a Joey, Jerry, Kook, or Squid is somebody who has been judged to be demonstrating generally less knowledge or experience than the person doing the judging. So you might be a Joey, Jerry, Kook, or Squid if you, for instance, don't show as much style in your jumps as the person judging you, or if you're judged to not jump high enough, or not go fast enough, or just generally not look super cool or as cool as your judge. The biggest ways of being a Joey, Jerry, Kook, or Squid is to not look as cool in the line to the lift. And you cannot look as cool by a lot of ways. You could wear pieces of gear that don't look good together, or wear them in the wrong way. You could wear like too much like non-mountain bike specific gear, or you could wear too much mountain bike specific gear. Really kind of depends on the ones perceiving you and the ones calling you out as being a Joey, Jerry, Kook, or Squid. So it's really kind of tricky to know if you are a Joey, Jerry, Kook, or Squid, because it's largely dependent on the people judging you. So yeah, I think you're maybe kind of getting my point. But why am I talking about this? So recently I've had a couple of people call me out as a Jerry or a Squid. And so why should I care about that when I get so many like rad comments from you, and I get so much positive feedback? Like, why would like a couple of comments kind of stick in my craw? And I had to ask myself that question. Why are these bothering me? I'm getting such good energy from so many people, hundreds and hundreds of comments of people giving me good energy, and then like a couple of people call names, and then I get like, okay, quite honestly, I was a little hurt, and I had to really look at that. Like, why did that bother me? I don't know these people. I don't know who they are, and truthfully, I don't really care what they think. What bothered me, I realized what bothered me was that I found myself going, oh, they're thinking of me in the same way that I think of those people that I am judging to be a Jerry, Joey, Kook, or Squid, right? I'm doing that, and then they're doing that to me. So immediately I realized I'm bothered by it because it's saying something to me about my character, about me being judgmental. So I really started looking at that and really started unpacking that. So I am 100% guilty of seeing somebody in the line at, in the lift line or on the trail, and in my head thinking, what a Jerry, right? What a Squid. And it really made me realize, like, I needed to reflect on that. And the more I thought about it, I realized that, like, well, first of all, we all probably have been a noob, right? A beginner on the trail. Like, at some point we had to be, there was the first time we went up to the bike park or whatever, and we didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know any better, and we probably made a lot of mistakes and whatever. Like, I definitely wore, like, the bunch of bananas helmet when I went up and rode Snow Summit the very first time. I think I was, like, on an XC bike and wearing, like, board shorts and a t-shirt and basically a road helmet, and, like, I think I was even just wearing, like, regular sunglasses and whatever. Anyway, like, I checked all the boxes. But now, like, looking back, you know, I'll maybe see somebody who's similar to that, and I'll, like, judge them. And it's, the more I thought about it, the more unfair it seems, because the person that is new, right, the person that looks like that or is not throwing gigantic whips or whatever, they're in the most uncomfortable situation, right? Because they're unfamiliar with the park. They're still learning to do these things, and what that means is that person is really putting themselves out there. So, you know, like, for now, like, I can do Party Wave Westridge, like, without even really thinking. But the person who's, like, still learning how to deal with those, like, steep paver berms, and is, like, scared to ride them, they're still on the trail. They're still out there. They're out there wanting to mountain bike, and they're willing to probably knowingly put themselves in a situation where they're going to be judged. And they're willing to do that, and they're willing to go up there and get better. I know that's what I did. Like, when I first started going to Snow Summit, I, like, pretty much just rode Going Green and some of the trails on the backside, and was, like, super scared to hit any of the other trails, until, you know, a couple of, like, really experienced riders were cool with me and coached me on going and riding, like, Party Wave to Westridge, you know, and basically gave me permission to go and be a Joey on those trails, to be somebody slow on those trails that's, like, barely getting any air off the jumps, if any at all, rolling everything. Yeah. And, you know, that kind of brings me to, like, that aspect of, so really, let me just kind of wrap that up. What I'm saying is, a lot of the times when somebody is considering somebody else to be a Joey, Jerry, Kook, or Squid, there's this underlying intention there of, you don't deserve to be on the trails as much as I deserve to be on the trails. I deserve to be on the trails because I'm better than you, and I deserve to have more fun than you do. There's that kind of thing in there, which I think is really pretty crappy, and I'm owning that, in that I have had that kind of intention, you know, in there. Never, like, really consciously thought about it, but, like, this has made me really reflect on these things. But yeah, and the thing that's interesting is, or for me, the thing that's really poignant is, I have ridden with people who have had every right to consider me a Joey, Jerry, Kook, or Squid, because they're just so rad on the bike, but they still wanted to ride with me, you know. We still gave each other fist bumps at the end of the trail, you know, and it had more to do with stoke than, like, I'm as cool as you. So in the end, I started realizing that a lot of this was just, like, what's up, dude?
What's up, dudes?
I'm vlogging right now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Hey!
It's Nick. What's up, dude? You doing all right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, let me finish this up. I'll see you in there in just a minute.
I'm leaving, but yeah.
Oh, you leaving? Okay, cool.
Yeah, bro.
See ya. So it really comes down, like, what I'm talking about right now is that, like, it's really like being considered a Joey, Jerry, Kooker, Squid really just says something about the person that's doing the judging, um, because some of the people I've ridden with, like they're like former World Cup DH racers, or they're amazing riders, and they still had no problem riding with me, and we had a good time. So doesn't really have anything to do with skill or fashion or whatever. It has to do with a person basically feeling better than you. And so, in my opinion, and I want to change this about myself. Like, I I don't want to continue like calling anybody out for that, or ever really kind of using these terms about anybody. Um, yeah, because I think it's just it's bad energy, and it really kind of like puts extra stress and judgment on the people that are probably doing the most work and in the most uncomfortable situation to do this sport that we love to do. So yeah, one thing I will say though, not taking anything back, but like safety is a thing, and there's definitely times when somebody is unaware and like standing right into the entrance of a something. You're coming around the corner, you don't see them, and because they're unaware and just standing in the middle of the trail, like those are safety concerns, and it's really tempting to call that person a Joey, Jerry, Kook, or Squid. But I think the best thing we can do is, when we see somebody that we feel we can judge in that way, is to bring them in, like give them the experience, make them more aware, and make them more experienced. Because if you think about it, if you ostracize somebody for being unaware, you're just perpetuating their lack of awareness. Um, and even if you yell out at them or give them a hard time, okay, now they're aware, but now you've passed on this negative energy. And if anything, if they ever become a well-skilled rider, they may take that energy with them, and now they're out there like calling out other people for being a Joey, Jerry, Kook, or a Squid, and you can just kind of see where that goes. So I've definitely found that, like, real quick, I'm starting to ramble a bit. We're getting like past our normal time, but I think it's interesting that there's the people that I've ridden with that are like so amazingly good. Have often been the least judgmental. So it's almost like there's like beginner, intermediate, and then like there's a certain period during which people become really judgy. And I think that also speaks to, that's the period where you've gotten good enough to know the difference, but you're still a bit sensitive to your status, and you're kind of aware of that status, and as a result you need somebody that you can put down. So we could get in there and like super analyze all that stuff, but in the end I realized I was doing that. I don't want to do that anymore. I would rather be, at least as in terms of my energy, I'd rather be like those like rad riders who are just generally accepting of people who are into the same sport. So yeah, that's it. Raw vlog number 12. We are almost hitting 15 minutes right now, so let's get to the end where I tell you to hit the like button if you dug this video, and if you didn't dig it, hit the comment button and let me know why you didn't dig it. I'd love to hear your comments on all this, on like judging people on the trail. Like, are there actual legitimately people who's a Jerry, Joey, Kook, or Squid? Like, is that a real thing, or is that just kind of in the minds of people being judgy? And if you want to see more videos of riding or raw vlogs, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to stop before we get to 15 minutes. Coffee time.